Namaste to all of you and welcome back to my channel. So the next posture would be the Parigasana sequence, that is the gate pose. Okay, it comes in your supine series. It is the practice wherein you have to do over on your knees. Okay, so people who are suffering with some knee injuries cannot practice this flow. But otherwise it is not a very intense flow but a very effective movement practice. It can be done as a movement practice. I will be giving you the ideas how you can do it as a movement practice, how you can take a break in between, and also how you can work in the Parigasana itself, a different variations of Parigasana. Okay, so if you have still not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon for the further notifications. If you like the video, please like it and share it with your friends and relatives. Okay, so let's dive into the pose directly here. We'll start with our, I am still continuing to have the the properties here, the blocks and the chair. These are my favorite properties, and also sooner or later these will become your favorite properties because they make the pose very accessible, and also you can feel more confident about the pose when you start working, and gradually when you progress you can leave the properties. Okay, so let's move and from your tiger breathing position. Okay, of course you need to stretch and stay here for a couple of breaths. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. 5 breaths. Let's come onto the hands, come onto the knees. Adjust your weight on both the knees and both the hands. Loosen the neck, loosen the hips. Okay, and then gradually start with a couple of rounds of tiger breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, take this about 6 to 9 rounds here. Okay, and also make sure you have done your joint movements before you come into this practice. Okay, now coming to the Parigasana pose from here. From the tiger breathing position, you will come up onto the knees. Okay, onto the knees, you bend forward. Take your right leg out. Okay, let's keep the block this side. Right, take your right leg out. Okay, slightly slanted angle of your ankle. Your knee and your heel should come in one straight line, or at least the knee should be into the arch of the foot. Okay, inner arches of the foot should not lift. So to keep your inner arches of the foot intact, whatever angle of your ankle is comfortable, you can take. Okay, the back side leg toe can be inside or outside. If you're comfortable, try to keep it outside. Okay, this should form a straight line. Okay, so you shouldn't be pushing too much wherein the groin pushes away from the knee. So the knee, the groin and the waist and the armpit all in one straight line. Okay, the right leg is moving out, so you can rest your right arm into the right groin. Just simply lift your left arm with your soft elbows, with your soft knees. I don't want you to stiffen and lift. If you're doing that, you will lock your shoulder. Okay, so make sure you have and release your shoulder joint and lift. So when you're releasing like this, you don't open up like this. Okay, so the shoulder should not go into the neck. So just release it behind. Okay, the armpit goes behind. Okay, hand goes behind, and then slowly push the groin and go stronger into the knee and stronger into the ankle. Keep your pelvis straight as much as possible. Don't tilt it off like this. This is wrong. Okay, so slowly stretch as far as you can. Keep the pelvis neutral, and gradually as you stretch the side body, the oblique muscles, stretch your arms. If you still feel comfortable, then open your hands. So stay there. You can also rest this hand onto the shin bone. If you are comfortable, slightly move further. Don't force. If you are doing for the first time the posture, don't force. Take a couple of breaths here as you breathe in and breathe out. And then slowly bring your hands down to the waist, both the hands. Slowly lift the waist, drop your hands forward and take your leg back. Okay, so this is the basic Parigasana posture, beam posture. Okay, this is the posture somewhat equivalent to your Ardha Kati Chakrasana, but this posture is more closer to the gravity. That was farther from the gravity. So it becomes more challenging actually, and you need to have a little bit of pelvis control as you move closer to the gravity. Okay, because the center of mass becomes closer to the center of gravity, you must be a little more cautious about having the pelvic floor control, the lower abdominal muscles control. Otherwise, you will be collapsing in the postures. Okay. So, I will show you a couple of variations on the other side when you do this. Okay. So, coming up on the knees. This stretches your oblique muscles, a good side bend posture here. This opens up the hamstrings of the straight leg and stretches the obliques of the the opposite side. Okay, so keeping the knee strong there, keeping the inner arch, keeping it in a straight line. Okay, making sure your inner arches of the foot don't lift. Then slowly, even if the outer arches slightly lifts, that's completely fine. But try and keep it as much as flat as possible. Okay, now slowly the right hand raises up. You lift from the right oblique muscles. Okay, and slowly push the groin. Feel the stretch in your hamstring and gradually straighten the hand onto the left leg and then straighten the right hand. You can stay here for a couple of breaths. Now the same posture, to open a little more deeper into your hamstrings, you can slightly turn the foot. Raise the foot into your side, pressure on the heels, okay, and slowly stretch completely more down. So this is one more variation. This is a little intense variation, okay, and here it is a little easier to stretch on your inner thighs. This posture can be taken as a variation in Parigasana, okay. Now this comes as the Parigasana variation. Now slowly a few things you can add in the movement of Parigasana. Okay, so we did the right leg out and stretched into the right. Now the same thing we will do on the left side. The right leg is only out, but we are stretching on the left side. For this you can use the block. So just keep the block one hand distance away from the left knee. Place your left hand over the block. Okay. Look towards the block. Pull your left leg a little bit inside. Okay. And slowly press through the outer edge of your right leg and open the chest of the right side. You can still keep looking onto the left hand if you are comfortable. Turn your head and try to look towards the right hand. Okay. So try not to sag this. Keep pulling. Keep compressing your left side of the obliques. This is a good preparation for Vasishthasana, one of the hand balancing postures. You can remove the block if you have a good balance, sense of balance. Okay, and you can stay in the posture, depending on how comfortable you are. Or you can break the posture here, come back, relax, and again you can drop this hand down slowly. Move the hand a little more further from there, lift the leg and hold the right leg from your right hand and slowly try to open the right side of the chest. Keep pushing more into the balancing knee and hip and try to open the chest. The same thing can be worked with the palm down and forearm. Okay, open and gradually try to see whether you are able to see the leg back and open the pelvis as much as possible. We'll try to make it squared in the front. So drop down gradually. So as I've told you, this posture can be worked as a Vasishthasana preparation. okay, the hand balancing posture. As you practice this posture, you can slowly start working on this arm balance. Okay, but not right now. I'll make a separate video for that. Okay. So, till the time, keep working on this posture. Drop down, sit back onto the knees or come back onto the knees. This has a lot of work to be done on the wrist and your shoulders. So, always stay on the knees and loosen the scapular muscles, the shoulder blades, crossing your arms, okay, and also loosen the trapezium muscles, up and down, up and down, up and down, okay. Also loosen the wrist, elbow, okay, shoulder, inward, outward. Okay, all the variations I would like to show on the next slide so that you are able to catch up quickly the brief on the posture. Okay, so let the left leg come out. Okay, you can see the arch and the knee in the same line here. Okay, you can use the variation of lifting the foot and then slowly stretching on the same side. This we have already worked. Okay, side bend posture. Stay there for a couple of breaths. Don't try to move too much intense. It's completely fine as a beginner. Okay, then come back. Place the hand. You can use a block if you need. You can use a block a little farther from your body, at least your forearm distance. Press through the leg, tuck the toe in of the back leg. See the angle, 45-degree angle. Open the chest, pull the obliques in and lift the arm. If you're comfortable, look up or just look front or just look down. Equal pressure onto the hand, onto the knee, onto the leg. Pelvis is squared in the front. A good preparation for Vasishthasana. Further from there, now if you feel comfortable, you can also stay closer to the floor. Okay. From there, you slowly take the support of your hand, push the hips back. From there, take the leg up, left leg up and try to open the left side of the chest. Take a couple of seconds here. You can also do this posture without holding the hand, okay. So you need to just bend forward. Try to open the pelvis. Pelvis in the front. Look back into the leg and hold the posture. Drop down slowly and sit back to Vajrasana. And take a couple of breaths to relax. So this was the whole flow about Parigasana sequence. As I have mentioned, you can separately practice Parigasana or you can also practice the whole flow. It's a very good flow to strengthen your oblique muscles and to strengthen your upper parts of the body. So I hope I could take you through all the technical details about the pose. Thank you for watching this video. Keep practicing and thank you once again.